Hey guys, it's Gia. Um, if this is recording, I hope so. So I get a lot of questions about what I eat, especially on a deficit and especially as a vegan bodybuilder. My next show is about 3 weeks away, so that means I'm definitely on a deficit, and no guys, I'm not starving. So I figured I'd just create this video to show you what I might be eating or what I eat in a day. Maybe I'll sprinkle some other stuff just from other days just to show you guys what I eat. But I always start off my mornings with a cup of joe normally, but today I'm starting off with a tea that I found in Whole Foods. It's Nume, it's chocolate puree. Oh, it's so good. And what I do is I'll mix it with some silk cashew milk. I like this one just because the macros are friendlier. It's 25 calories for a serving. While I mention calories, guys, I actually don't count calories. I count my proteins, fat, and my carbs. And then, of course, my dear friend Stevia is in there. I had like 3 teaspoons in there. I don't know if that's too much. And then I always put vanilla extract. So that's how I start my morning and just get the body all warm. This is my first meal of the day. I focus on volume and delicious foods that I try to minimize the amount of processed foods that I eat. So you'll see a lot that I eat at home. It's just easier to track the macros. But you guys will see I love my carrots. I have the different colored carrots just because it's different flavors. And then I've made some sort of kind of protein, we want to say meat alternative. It's kind of like a beef crumble sort of thing. It's made with wheat gluten. Check out recipes for wheat gluten on YouTube. Find it online somewhere. But basically, it's just the gluten from a wheat, which is pretty much all protein. I've got beets that are canned because it's easy peasy and delicious. Sunflower seeds, I love toasting a lot of things, so those are toasted sunflower seeds. With the wheat gluten protein thing, guys, I've also put basil and cilantro in there, and then you can see that I put salt on my food. I love flavor, I love variety, so I love to have just a bunch of things for each of my meals. And then I'm gonna finish my meal with half of my Amrita chocolate chip coconut bar. It is so freaking delicious, and it's just a little treat that I can have for myself. Oops, and there it is. So to show you guys a little bit more about what these foods are made of, so the beets are obviously just canned, got them from Whole Foods. The wheat gluten, guys, looks like this. This is Bob's Red Mill, obviously, but it looks like that, and it's a ton of protein. The way that I made my crumble is I put it in a mixer, and I put almond milk, wheat gluten, liquid smoke is freaking phenomenal. Salt, paprika, and some other stuff. I play around with it a lot. And then there's this thing that I just discovered that I super love. It's frozen basil that you can get from Trader Joe's. And basically, ew, don't look under there. Basically, you can put it on anything, and that's what I melted with my my protein there. And then here's just a sampling of the other Amrita stuff that I'll eat. They gave me a coupon code, which is so amazing that I can share with you guys. So I'll put it somewhere here. But I love this brand because there's no preservatives. It's all real food. It's none of that crapola that you might see in other bars. But this is my first meal, and it's a full plate. I just killed the other half of my Amrita bar because it was just too yummy and I couldn't stop. So my next meal actually doesn't have that many macros, but I do have to hit my proteins. I have to have like 25 grams of proteins, and I think I had 3 grams of carbs left. So I hit that with this. Basically what I did, guys, is I created this kind of bread thing with wheat gluten, a little bit of cashew milk, tons of dill in it, and sea salt. Key thing, guys, is when you're, especially for anything, play with your herbs, play with your spices, play with your salts. They change the world. So depending on how you cook wheat gluten, guys, again, I just mixed this in a bowl really quickly, and then I cooked it on the pan at like medium high heat. Wheat gluten, especially because I use cashew milk, it is less stretchy and gooey than if you were just to mix it with milk. Depending on how you cook wheat gluten, it can either be meat-like texture or it could be kind of like this, like bready. And if you see the underbelly of this puppy, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Here's another one of my meals. Some of the same stuff from before: beets, toasted sunflowers, cauliflower, rice cauliflower, edamame, corn, cilantro. This is Beyond Meat strips. This is an easy go-to when you're on the rush and you can't make your own meat alternatives with the wheat gluten. At least for me it is. This dollop here is the amazing GH or G Hughes sugar-free BBQ sauce. Macros are super good. For 2 tablespoons, it's 2 grams of carbs, and that is all, my friends. And then here, I have another Amrita deliciousness. It's a little medallion of just chocolate goodness, because I've just been eating my chocolate today. And then, of course, on top of because I want chocolate, I also made myself some iced coffee with just some instant coffee. I did put some Active Alliance chocolate protein here too. I also have a coupon code for them, guys. So so kind of them to share it with you. So share it with me to share with you. So I'll share that with you. And then in my iced coffee as well, I put Wonder Cocoa. It's just a macro-friendly cocoa powder. That's that. Time to eat. I never understood the fascination with watching people eat, but here I am. I'm eating in front of you, and I'm talking at you, or at a camera. Through this video, guys, I hope what you're getting is everything that I eat, I love. If I'm craving something, I'll eat it. I'll just portion it out, and I'll make sure that I'm happy from outside to inside and all over. Because I am a foodie at heart. I love my food. I eat lots of it. The other thing that I'd say is really try to get some non-processed foods in there, or less processed foods in there. Not only because it tends to have more volume, but also because you'll get a lot more micronutrients like your vitamins and whatnot. And I swear, since turning vegan about 10 or so months ago, I've just felt better. I feel stuffed after every meal. I'm not walking around starving. You'd think 3 weeks out to a competition I'd be dying and hangry, but I'm not. I'm actually struggling with eating because I'm just so stuffed all the time. But I still eat because I love to eat. But on the point of volume, guys, when you're eating more whole foods, less processed foods, think about it this way. A slice of bread can maybe have 15 grams of carbs, and that's going to go down really quickly. A half plate of beets, this whole plate, half plate, would be 8 grams of carbs. So you could essentially eat a plate full of beets and have the same amount of carbs in bread than you would in beets. And if you've ever tasted beets, freaking delicious. They're like nature's candy. When you start to really incorporate more whole foods into your diet and sweet things, those kind of sweet whole foods, those kind of things, or vegetables. I crave baby kale. Who would have thunk I crave baby kale? But I do. But when you do start to incorporate it over time, guys, your palate will change. I swear to you, even though you see me eating sweet stuff here and there, it's not something that I'm like, I used to like go crazy. I used to have to leave the house at 1 a.m. in the morning to go to the grocery store to satisfy my craving. That's how bad my cravings would be. And I'm nowhere near that anymore. So, anyways, okay, I'm gonna keep showing you my food, and I'm gonna eat again. Actually, it's super good. If you never thought about it, beets kind of taste like corn. I'm done. Late night gym workout. So I ate half of this before. I'm eating the other half. It's just fruits smashed up together in a bar. My last meal of the day. Mixed greens, finishing my beets, tofurkey, because it was easy. Grilled zucchinis, tomatoes with that frozen basil thing, that crumble that I showed you earlier, just mayo with dill and salt, and then my dessert, a little Amrita. Chocolate chip coconut. And then I've been drinking these because it's made with stevia. It's a different day now, guys, but I wanted to show you this meal as well because it's just another protein source. So This here is edamame spaghetti. I got that from Costco. Protein is high. For a serving, it's 25 grams of protein to 22 grams of carbs. And of course, I have my zucchini, my grilled radishes, my tomatoes, sea salt, as well, of course, as my sunflower seeds. What I did with the edamame spaghetti is I just boiled it, tossed it with some chipotle just mayo, lemon, and sea salt. And that's it. I know when you're looking at this video, guys, you might think that, hey, I'm eating the same things over and over again, but that's just because it's what I had in the house, and I like to cook for myself more so than I like to eat out. But I eat a ton of different things, and I love variety, and I love snacking, and I love treats and all that kind of stuff. I do everything in portions. As a vegan, I just don't have any problems getting protein. It's the macro that I hit most easily every single day. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, for those people that have concerns about turning vegan and not getting protein, guys, it's so super easy. I swear to you, you just need to know where to get it. And by the way, I used to think that I had a gluten sensitivity. Look at my last video, you'll see the reaction my body has. It's called dermatographia. But what I found, and what I found on myself, as well as studies that I've read, is that, one, I don't have legit celiac disease. That's something else. But what I found is I actually don't have a sensitivity to gluten. It's something else. It's got to be maybe the sugars that are bound to it, etc. Because I eat wheat gluten like a ton every day. What I find is, though, when I buy a product made of wheat gluten in a store, for example, because it's got other crapolas in it, I might get a reaction. And it may be the sugars that are bound or included in that ingredients or whatever. But when I make it at home, I never have problems at all. So that's something to think about. If you have celiac disease, I think you have to be a lot more cautious, of course. If you don't have celiac disease, you may want to think about trying wheat gluten out and making it yourself at home. Yeah. Okay. That's it. Oh, no. There goes my dweebus laugh. Bye, guys.
So I lied. I thought it was important for me to show you different kinds of foods that I eat so you don't have to feel like you're stuck in a rut. These are just photos I found in my phone of food that I ate in the last couple of weeks while I was still on prep and still cutting. That's my cup of coffee. I put Wonder Cocoa, which is a cocoa powder really friendly on macros. That tincture on the left-hand side is a vanilla extract, a stevia vanilla extract. I have pita bread on my plate with some alternative wheat gluten proteins in there, and some veggies and cashews for fats. Cashews are essential, and you guys will see that I always have my frother with me everywhere, and my scale. This here is a protein pancake that I created. The protein pancake itself is made out of wheat gluten. I probably mixed it with almond milk, vanilla extract, stevia, baking powder, and maybe a little bit of sea salt. Now, that deliciousness of a syrup that you see is actually just water, peanut butter powder, stevia, and my lovely Active Alliance vanilla protein. The reason that I put the Active Alliance protein in there is just for a little bit of texture, because it makes this just a little bit thicker, but I really, really love the flavor of this protein. Of course, I put blueberries, and then you'll see that I have my, sorry, I'm trying to zoom in here. I took my Go Macro bar. I always have bars at home. It's usually Amrita at Go Macro at home, and No Cow bar. So I put my Go Macro and I toasted it, I crumbled it up, and I put it on top of my pancakes. That was super delicious. Then pop chips, because why not? It fit in my macros. And then here's another meal that I had. This is tofu, butternut squash, tomatoes, bok choy, broccoli, mushrooms, obviously. This was us actually eating out. And yes, that little, I don't know if you can see it at the very bottom of the screen, you can see a little corner of my scale. I weigh everything out. So I can eat out, I can have variety, and I can still love all the foods I eat. Okay, for real, done. Bye, guys. I hope that was helpful. See ya.
Oh, and if you like this video, like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Bye. Again.